Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for watching as always. If you're new here, my name's Holly. Today I thought I'd do another colourful look and I'm bringing it back with my Take Me Back to Brazil palette, which I used to use all the time. I used to use this palette all the time when I first started doing my YouTube channel, so I thought I want to go back to it. And it has a lot of colours in there. So if you want to see how I created this look, then make sure you keep watching. So I've pretty much done my other eye. I just need to finish doing my waterline and then my bottom mascara. And for some reason, I did do my base makeup first before my eyes. I never ever do that, but I don't know why I did, so just gonna go with it. I haven't done bronzer or anything like that, so I'll do that after I've done this eye. Firstly, I'm gonna apply my base, and I always use my P. Louise base in the shade 2, which is called Rumour. And then I just apply it on both sides of my concealer brush. And I'm gonna use this to carve out my brows as well. So I just like to start at the front. And then go along to the tail of my brow. So I'm just outlining the shape a little bit more. Well, probably a lot more. I need to sit on my leg. I don't know what it is, I feel too low. Okay, I always sit on my leg, I don't know what's wrong with me. And then I literally just press on the base. I don't swipe it. I just pat it into the skin. Believe it or not, before this video, I actually decided to tweezer some of my stray eyebrow hairs. I hardly ever tweeze my eyebrows, but before this video I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to at least tweezer my monobrow and then the hairs that are growing basically on my eyelid. I have a dressing table now, so no more filming on the floor or wherever I can find. So I've upgraded, woo! But yeah, I need a new chair because I feel like I'm too low. My arms are like this. So the first shade that I went in with was this bright green shade here. I took my BH Cosmetics number 8 brush, so it's a flat shader brush. I like using this in my crease. So I basically just pressed in this shade in my crease, but I stopped just before my inner corner, and then I pulled it out a lot as well. This palette never lets me down. I always end up going back to it. I just think it's so pigmented. This is the first palette that I tried from BH Cosmetics, and I'm so glad I got this one. I think it's a good one to get because I use it so much. I'm just building up that shade so it's nice and pigmented. I really want to do like proper neon eyes, but this is the closest I could get, which isn't too bad. Like, it's nice and bright, but I'm waiting for this palette that I really want to get, but it hasn't dropped yet. So I need to pre-order it and wait and be patient. But yeah, I'm going to do definitely a proper neon look one day. And I'm just pulling it out past my brow as well. The next shade I used was the orange for my inner corner. And which brush did I use? Okay, so this brush that I used for the orange, the number's rubbed off, but it's part of the BH Cosmetics Rose Quartz set, I think. But it's just like a rounded, dense brush. So I'm just pressing it into my inner corner. I'm not doing any blending just yet. When I do bright colours, I like to just pack it on first and then blend after. Sometimes I don't even blend them. Like this part here, I just like to press over the top of the green slightly to start blending it. So I have a confession. I've basically been trying to film videos this whole week, and this is my 4th try. So I did 3 other looks. I tried to do 3 other looks and I just didn't like them. Like, I thought they just weren't, I don't know, I didn't get that feeling. So I was like, no, I'm stopping, I can't. I have to love the look to be able to do it. So this is my 4th attempt. 4th time lucky, maybe? So after that, I haven't done any blending yet. I took my tiny little blending brush by BH Cosmetics. This is, I think it's number 7, but it's worn off again. It's really good. So any brushes like this with their tiny, teeny weeny blending brushes, they're so good for little detail blending. This one, I have a confession, I actually burnt it. I was being really lazy and impatient and I washed it and then I just used a hairdryer and it was like, oh, a little bit rough on the ends, but it kind of still works. I'm just going backwards and forwards with this. So I'm not dipping into the shade just yet. I'm going to start blending it first. You can do little circular motions too. Don't press too hard when you're blending either because you really don't need to. You actually get a nicer blend if you just kind of go in really gently. And then I just took this brush again and gently went over the orange. just where it meets. But I'm not over blending it, I'm just kind of lightly brushing it backwards and forwards. And I'm just going to dip in back to that green shade and go over the blend really, really lightly, because I really want to make sure I keep the green nice and bright, but I still want it to be blended, so I'm just going to build up the pigment a little bit. So when I do my eye looks, I like to repeat the steps as well, just because I want it to be as pigmented as possible and nice and opaque. So I'm going to go back in with my BH Cosmetics number 8 brush and build up that green again in my crease. This makes such a difference, especially if you're doing quite a bright, bold look. And then I go back in and blend it afterwards. I went shopping today and all of a sudden it started hailing. It's crazy, like I'm sure it's definitely gonna snow soon. But I want it to be summer because, I'm getting used to the weather because I've been back for a few months now. So those of you who don't know, I went travelling for a year with my girlfriend. But now we've been back for about, I think maybe like 3 months. Definitely getting used to being back now. I still would like the weather to be a lot nicer. So if the Australia weather could just come over here, that'd be great. Right, so I've blended that out and I think I'm happy with that. What I did next was go back in with the green. So we're not using too many different colours at the minute. We're literally going in with the green quite a few times. And I'm filling in that outer corner. So I'm bringing it down. I'm going to go back in with this orange shade and just build up the pigment in my inner corner. I'm just pressing on top of that green as well. And then what I did was I took a really fluffy blending brush. This one's just by Morphe, and I went right over all of that green. So this will just help it look a lot more seamless with your blend. I kind of like this eye more than this eye now. And through the edge around here, I used the same brush and just softly blended that. I still wanted that angled shape, so I didn't round it off. So you can see on this side, it's still kind of got that little, if that makes sense. Then I took a smaller kind of tapered blending brush. This one's just from Morphe. And with my inner corner, I really lightly just blended that out as well. So far it's been easy peasy, but obviously I'm going to whack a cut crease in there because that is what I love doing. I've got hair on me. Woo. I'm taking the same base that I used before, the P. Louise base, and the same concealer brush. I don't like to use too much of a big concealer brush, but I don't know, maybe I just haven't found one that I like yet. I really want to try the Anastasia Beverly Hills one, but I can't remember what number it was. But yeah, I always apply it on both sides, and then that way it creates a nice thin edge. So it's easier to get a lot more precise when you're doing your cut crease. So I generally start on my inner corner. And I always press on the product, I never swipe it. Just because it's a lot more precise, like I find if you swipe it, the skin on your lid's so thin, it kind of moves with it. So this just works better for me. But at the end of the day, just do it however works for yourself. So once I've done the shape, I just press on my base like I did before. I don't swipe it, so this will give you a lot more coverage. I have no idea why, but whenever I do my cut crease, my opposite eye just starts crying, so this is not okay. Just ignore it. So I went in with the yellow next, and I took that on my rounded Morphe brush, and then just pressed it on. So I didn't set my base, because I feel like if you set it, it kind of just doesn't stick as much. And it makes it a bit more pigmented. A rounded brush is always good for this bit because if you go in with a straight brush or an angled brush, it kind of doesn't follow the shape of your cut crease. This way you can just like tuck it in and hope for the best. Sometimes I use a more detailed brush to get closer to my cut crease line, but I think because it's not a really dark colour, it's fine. So what I'm going to do now is take the brush that I used for the green, and I'm not applying any more product. I'm just going to press over that harsh line. So I'm not rubbing, I'm literally just pressing on top of it. By the way, if my voice sounds funny, it's because I'm a little bit ill. Like yesterday I felt really rough, but today I think I'm okay, apart from my voice. Going in with a tiny bit of that green and lightly pressing over the yellow. I've said this before in my videos, but I used to always kind of rub and blend it that way. But now, whenever I blend in my shadows on my lid, I tend to just kind of press on top of them. So that's most of it done. I just need to apply some eyeliner. So I'm using my Maybelline Mask Precise liquid liner. I always tend to use kind of pen liners, and I'm only gonna just line my lash line. I definitely need a new eyeliner. For my lashes, I use my Pinky Goat Sahar lashes. So it came in this box and they're very pretty. The glue that I like to use is Revlon Precision Clear, just because I needed one ages ago and I picked this one up and I just really like it now, so it's a winner. So I like to leave my glue to dry a bit. A lot of the time I leave it for ages and forget about it, and then I try and put my lashes on anyway and it doesn't work, so hopefully I don't forget this time. While my lashes are drying, I'm going to start on my under eye. The shade that I went in with was this bright pink shade here. Yes, I've hit pan and I'm very sad about that, so let's not talk about that. I'm literally just running that underneath. I definitely didn't tap off enough product, so I went a bit heavy with that, which is why I don't normally do my base makeup first, but I was silly today. I'm just using a fluffy blending brush so I can blend it into my foundation. For mascara, I'm just going to use my Tarte Lights Camera Lashes, which is probably about 2 years old. But yes, it still seems okay, so I'm going to use it. So my lashes are now on, and I don't know if you guys can see, but I put some yellow in my waterline. Now I just need to finish my base makeup. So I'm going to go in with my Hoola Bronzer by Benefit and just bronze myself up a little bit. The brush that I'm using is the BH Cosmetics brush because I got a few in a set. This one is number 2. It's nice and fluffy, so I always tend to use it for bronzer. Just go in under my chin, along my jaw. I'm just going to put some blush on my cheeks. The one that I'm using today is the Rimmel London Maxi Blush. This is the shade Exposed. This blush I tend to use like day to day. I'm going to use my Baked Highlighter by e.l.f. and this is the rose gold one, so it's got 2 sides. It is a dual one, but I tend to use kind of both sides, mainly this side, but I do dip into this side as well. Just using my Morphe brush to apply my highlighter. This highlighter is so good. If you want to get a cheap highlighter, this is the one. I think it's like a couple of pounds. I can't remember exactly how much, but it is really good if you don't want to spend a lot of money on one. For lips, I'm going to use my Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink Lipstick. This is in the shade Poet. So this is a finished look. I'm so glad with how it came out. I love it. I love bright colours and this is so cute. I am going to be doing a proper neon look. I feel like this is kind of on that level. It's really bright, but I suppose it's not like neon bright, if that makes sense. But I will be doing a tutorial on a proper neon look. I'm just waiting on the palette to actually drop. So as soon as it does, I will do a video on that. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. And thank you as always for watching. If you did enjoy it, make sure to give it a thumbs up down below. And make sure you check out my Instagram if you want to see any more of my looks that I create and any photos that I take of this look. I hope you guys have a lovely week and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!